In the United States, CPS makes upwards of $3 billion per day on trafficking and selling our children. The corruption may start with the caseworker, but goes through the judicial system, passing the governor through the Senate and into the White House. The entire system has a hand in the business known as CPS.
Our children are stolen every minute of a 24-hour day. They are being robbed of their innocence, their trust, their happiness. As parents, we are isolated and betrayed by a government we trust. States are balancing budgets on kids' lives. Only 12% of the kids taken will be reunified. Title IV funding is being riveted with fraud.
We need to stop CPS and abolish CPS.com is leading the way. Join us.
All right, everybody, welcome to this New Year's Eve. Let me make sure my microphone's on. All right, everybody, welcome to this New Year's Eve edition of CPS Victims Hunting Justice. I am your host, the CPS Punisher. And this is it, guys. This is the last night of 2024. We're ready to start our new beginnings here, our new tomorrow, our new quest for fighting CPS. As for tonight, though, we're going for the last comments of this year. So let's get Vinny out here. I know Vinny's got a mouthful. Wait till you guys hear this. What's going on with Vinny? This is gonna knock you out. But let's get him out here. Vinny.
Hey.
How are you, buddy?
All right. Hey, everybody. How you doing? Hi, Tammy. Hey, everybody listening. So, so in the CPS side of things, the guardian ad litem and the caseworker told my sister that I am a convicted of GSA, and told her all kinds of information about me, violating HIPAA laws, violating the fact of the matter of what is it called there, where it's personal information. They shared that confidentiality, right. And not only did they do that, they told her that they will not give my daughter to her because I have a juvenile record. The grounds of their case is juvenile record. The grounds of their
what the hell does a juvenile record have to do, first of all, with your case now and you being a parent? That had nothing to do with you being a parent at all.
It does not. Nope. And my record has been clean for 25 years.
And your record was sealed too, wasn't it?
Yep. Blue sealed. Yep.
Wow. So now somehow the department has finagled their way into your privacy.
Yep.
And stolen things that weren't supposed to be viewed. Not that they were bad or anything, but that's none of their damn business, man. That's what sealing the stuff means.
Yep. And then on the flip side of that, I did get discovery today for my work. They did not release the video or audio yet. But in the discovery, I was looking through, and it says that screenshots were taken of my Facebook account by this person that first initiated all this problem. Well, herein lies the problem in that. This woman is blocked on all social media outlets that I ever can find her on. I have blocked every single one of her accounts. She is not a friend of mine. She is not on my friends list. How the hell is she getting screenshots of what I'm posting on my wall?
Someone's got to be giving her access, right?
it's got to be stemming from someone in my Facebook. And when I
Right,
find
that's
that
what I'm saying.
person, I'm going to tell you this. If you're listening and you know it's you might want to delete yourself, because once I find you, I will sue the ass off of you.
There you go, Vinny. I was scared for what you were going to say there.
Nope. I will be coming for them in the legal way.
Good man. Yeah, it's not right that they're doing what they're doing. Manipulating stuff, lying about stuff. Oh, can we tell them what else is going on?
Yeah. If you want to, shoot that out there.
Well, we have discovery and we have all the information that we need to have in a case. Well, somehow, miraculously, someone we know's whole entire discovery has been wiped out, gone. Nobody can find it.
Yep.
How does that happen? How does your discovery just end up vanishing? The entire file is gone.
Yeah, we were on a call this morning with our attorneys, and Lynn's attorney went to go click on it to look for something. No, it was her too.
And then she went into
And they could not log in. They could not. It said file gone, not there.
Wow, that is crazy. So what happens in that instance, right? Like that's supposed to be done deal, I thought.
And a day before court.
Yeah,
2 days.
a day before. Yeah, you guys are going on the 2nd, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, but they told me
Wow.
that they don't want me there because they didn't subpoena me, for one. There is no subpoena of me having to go to this. And there isn't one for Lynn, but Lynn's going with my mom and my sister. They're all going to go in one car, I think, and just go up. The reason being they don't want me there is because if they try to say, well, he's here, so we need to pull him on the stand. Even though I may say, that this goes against my Fifth Amendment, this is poisonous fruit of the tree, I will not answer these questions under my Fifth Amendment. They hold that in retro to you as guilty. At least in the CPS courts. And in the criminal case, it's a way different matter. It is
Right. Well,
up
the
to
levels of what you need for evidence is way different. You know what I mean? In the CPS court, you just need to have clear and convincing evidence, which is really almost nothing more than preponderance amount of evidence, really. But in the court of law, you have to be beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, it's the death penalty for your child. I mean, to lose your child this way. So why is it that they have to have a clear and convincing evidence and not beyond a reasonable doubt? I mean, clear and convincing should be enough anyway.
But
I don't understand how they come up
because,
with these.
you think about it, and everyone, if you think about some of the things that I've said on here and some of the things I've said on my show, and you put 2 and 2 together, you will learn that most of the cases in Maine, even our very own Darren and Mary, their case is no different. It is all done under corruption. Because from the Supreme Court in Maine right down to the lower courts is corrupt. So that means CPS and DHHS have their tabs in all those courts.
It's crazy, man. I don't.
Hence why you're not really getting anywhere in the Supreme Court, Darren, because it's flooded by the same people. They go in circles, all of them.
Of course they do. They all sit together. They're all probably together right now.
Mm-hmm. I bet
It's
they
just
are.
like when I. Go ahead.
I bet even the governor is in on that.
I'm sure. I mean, when I went to make the complaint to the bar association against the assistant district attorney that prosecuted me for the TPR, she was the one that sat on the committee, the ethics committee at the bar association. So how was I going to get a fair shake with that one?
He wasn't.
You found it, whatever. and then that was it, man. You know, like, and this is really terrible because you're looking for justice, but you can't get justice because they're all entrenched in their whole system. It's not like it's just one or two places. It's
Nope.
like in the entire system.
Yep. It is, especially in Maine. I mean, for us to rank a big fat F, that should tell you something right there. And that was in 2026, people. Yeah, 2016 rather. 2016 to now, they've had all that time to develop their skill in corruption up here. Because every committee that has ever dealt with CPS, most of them are best friends with them.
So in our case, the caseworker, her father was the former AG, Attorney General, in the for OCFS, which is the Office of Children and Family Services. So he was the former prosecutor for the AG. Then he now is a leading for hire GAL in the state, and he trains all the other GALs and does all of this stuff. And his daughter was a caseworker. So you think I was going to you think for a minute she was going to lose her first case? Absolutely not. That was never going to happen. Doesn't matter if we were Santa Claus and Jesus were in our house. It wasn't going to matter. That caseworker was not going to lose their case. My father having the power, all the people that were involved in our case were the people that came in after him that he had relinquished his seat to. You know, then where he was leading the GALs, you know, like they all, you know, paid homage to him. It was terrible. And here's the kicker, Vinny. When they got my restraining order on me, they said that because I had called looking around for a new GAL to hire, right?
Yeah.
So I call this office and I leave a message for whom they say it was and so on. Well, I don't put two and two together. Come to find out that was her father, because the name of the lawyer's office was something completely different. So they're like, no, I'm sorry, the GAL is not in right now. You can leave him a message. So I left him a message telling him who I was, so on and so forth. They used that against me for the restraining order on the caseworker, saying that by me calling there and looking for them, it was like a threat to the family. Well, here's my question. How come this guy knows who I am, and how does his daughter, so his daughter and this guy talk to each other to know who I am? How would they know that that was a threat, that this was the person that I was, that his daughter was my caseworker? I never said that.
Oh, so you want me to let him out?
That tells me that they're speaking. They're supposed to be both binded under, not secrecy, but under confidentiality.
Yep.
So if they did that, that means that both of them were talking about me. Both of them were talking about a case that I'm involved in.
Yeah, and that's a breach of confidentiality.
Correct.
So we need to find that in our statute.
Stuff.
We need to find that in our statute and attack that.
Oh, clearly. But this is like what you're saying with the GAL in your case. They're clearly going there. They come hand in hand with the caseworkers when they walk in there.
Yep, they do.
They sit on the case. If you ever noticed, they sit on the caseworker side of the bench when they go in there.
I'm going to bring Tim out with us.
Yeah, I mean, it's just asinine, you know. And then they are allowed to make a decision on your parenting and the relationship of you and your child when they've met you being with your child one time for like 10 minutes in a structured environment, and you know, and then a once a month visit that she sees your kids for 10 minutes if they even go and see them.
Yeah.
And these people are the ones that are allowed to make judgment on our children and us being parents further down the line. It's disgusting, it's asinine, and that needs to be changed too. The guardian ad litem is supposed to be a lawyer for the child. That's what it's supposed to be. Not supposed to be a determining factor in the department's case. It's supposed to be a lawyer for the child.
Yes, he's the neutral party.
Except for not in every state is the guardian ad litem an attorney even.
Right. My guardian ad litem is an assistant attorney general.
Yeah, well, in some states, guardian ad litems are not required to have a law license. They're not.
Right. Well, and isn't that what they consider the what is it, the CACs or the CACs, right? Is that
Yeah.
the same thing as the GAL, the CACs?
Yeah, because they're an advocacy center. Yeah.
Yeah, the advocate, the child's advocate. Is that the
Yeah.
same? Like, so I tried to be a CAC, and they denied me because I had a case of CPS. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, but I guarantee if you go back, like, I don't know if I actually told you, Darren, but I did tell Gunner. So last night I had someone come preview the show, just to kind of get her feelers out to what we speak on. And this is my friend Crystal, who I know in person. She used to make my coffee at Dunkin' every time we went there. So I developed a relationship with Crystal. She has so much stuff that we could use that would bury the state of Maine, but she does not know how to get it out there and what to do.
What do you mean? This is it right here. This is how you get it out there.
And that's what I was telling her. I was like, I gotta get you to come on. You gotta see what's going on the show. So she was in last night. I did see that she said that she came in. And she was watching. So hopefully in the next couple of shows, since she's got the link now and she'll be able to follow us, hopefully she'll start listening to a lot of the stuff we say on each show. Because I gave her my show, I gave her this show, I still got to send her Danielle's. But then she'll be able to grasp that concept of what we speak out on, and hopefully we can get her either on the main show or on my show or your show here. But if we can get her on all three and get her talking about her case and what has really gone on in this state, people would be flabbergasted at the evidence that she has.
Honestly, I'm not sure that people would be as flabbergasted as we think they would be, because so many people are just, they really are more interested in keeping their head in the sand, because having their head in the sand is easier than actually having to stand up and say this shit's not right or whatever. It's just easier to turn a blind eye than it is to actually do anything to try to protect another person.
We were just talking about that on the TIFF show. We were just saying that same thing. And like I said over there, I'll say here, like Herbert's a machine. Herbert's a walking billboard for this stuff. Like he walks around, he asks people if he knows CPS, if they've heard of CPS or whatever. That's really all it takes, because all it takes is one lady in the grocery store line to hear someone say, hey, do you know about CPS? If they ever come to your house, don't open the door for them. They don't have a warrant. Even if it's that little tidbit of information that you get, you consume, you hear, and you pass along, that could save someone from being in the situation that we're all in. Just that little tiny bit, and people don't realize how simple it is to spread this.
And you're right. I drive Lyft, and every time, so I'm y'all know that I'm up north right now, and everybody hears my southern accent up here, and everybody comments and, well, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Alabama. Well, what the hell are you doing up here? Well, the reason I'm up here is because I'm a Child Protective Services Victims Rights Advocate. Child Protective Services is the world's largest supplier of children into sex trafficking. I come up here to help with the case, and people ask me questions, and I'm telling you, I get more people in my vehicle that are actually wanting to know about it. Then it really surprises me. But one of the things I do is when I'm in the grocery store, I make it a point of getting on the phone, whether I'm in Walmart or Sam's or the local grocery store or whatever. I will make it a point of getting on the phone with one of the advocates I work with and have conversations about what's going on. And I'm that obnoxious person that talks too loud so that everybody around me can hear me say something. So they can go, wait a minute, Child Protective Services is a sex trafficking business? What? Yeah.
Yep. That's awesome. I knew exactly when you started saying it, what you were going to say. I'm like, yes, hell yeah. Yeah, they took another kid.
Actually,
awesome. Good stuff.
Made $50,000 today. Stealing kids.
Darren, you should go and look up the update on how many kids have been taken into Maine CPS custody just in the last month.
Okay, I will do that. What is it, though, Vinny? Tell me the number.
I think the last time I checked, it was more than 27.
Jesus Christ. So it's funny, we were just talking about this in the TIFF show too. I went through the Child Information Gateway, which is where we all use that to get our information from, because it's the most accurate and unbiased information spot that you can really get. But it was saying, one of the articles said the nation's foster care numbers are plummeting, right? So it gave them the dates from 2020 until now. And don't quote me on this, but I think it was like 437,000 were in custody at that point. And then now it was 407,000. So it was like a difference of like 19,000 or something like that. And I'm like, that's the word plummeting is 19,000. That's plummeting to anybody over 3, 4, 5 years. That's plummeting. What other government institution or any sort of measuring system would say that 15,000 out of 400,000 is plummeting? But then you went on to look, and one article said, I don't remember where it was. I don't want to misquote it, but it said one of the state's juvenile housing places are running out of room because their numbers are doubling. I'm like, well, that doesn't sound like plummeting numbers to me. If they're saying that their housing numbers are doubling, they're running out of space. And then another one said something along, it was 370,000 kids are in custody right now, with 109,000 looking for homes. So that number right there is 479,000, which is higher than the original number from 2020. But yet they're saying that the numbers are plummeting. These numbers all lie.
No
one gets these numbers right. They're not straight. And that's probably not even the true numbers. I bet you that there's over a million.
A lot higher.
They have. I bet you there's over a million.
Here's one for you. Okay. Child abuse and neglect report. Each year, 8,000 Maine children are reported to Child Protective Services because of suspected child abuse or neglect. Reunification for families. The state has to make efforts to reunify families except in certain circumstances. Foster care. In 2022, the number of children in foster care reached a record high. Maine takes children at a rate more than double that national average.
So that's plummeting numbers. Plummeting numbers.
Okay, the number of children in state custody in Maine has increased to a 20-year high, with 2,573 children in state custody as of June 1st, 2024.
Plummeting numbers.
Yeah. I mean, just like every other definition of the word, they don't know what the hell the words mean. They don't know what exigent circumstances means. They don't know what imminent danger means. There's no legal definition of it, so they twist it to have their own definition.
Yeah, apparently plummeting means increase in their vocabulary.
Yeah, apparently.
And
then it says,
well, maybe it means all the money that's plummeting into their big pot of their big pile of gold.
Yeah. And then it says in maltreatment, child maltreatment, in 2020, Maine child maltreatment rate was the highest in the nation at 19.0 per 1,000 children. In 2021, 4,263 children experienced substantiated child maltreatment.
They just
and that's the other issue is these substantiated things is what's the standard to determine whether or not the allegations are substantiated? Just because I think so, just because I want to say so, just because I get a bonus off of it. I mean, we have no standards to actually determine what actually abuse is. That's why children who actually are not abused are not getting taken, because they don't understand what abuse actually is, because they're teaching all of these 20-year-olds who come straight out of college or come straight out of high school into the system to be social workers, to be CPS workers. They don't teach them what abuse actually is.
Yes.
And if they actually taught them what abuse was, we might actually have children who are being murdered every day by god-awful parents being put into the system so they actually could get some help. But instead, we have children that are not being abused, put in a system where they're 7 times more likely to be abused than if we left them with their parents who are unfit.
And Jonathan, that's going to be something that that you might want to ask Kim that, because she might be able to answer that.
I'm looking for something. I got to read the best. Just bear with me here. Sorry. So just go on.
What is up with CPS? CPS in Canada telling the public not to think. Honestly, I am not sure. I haven't heard that. I don't do a whole lot with Canada. Jonathan, do you have some sort of link that you could message me and let me take a look at that and see if I can figure out what's going on with it? You can find me on Facebook, Kim Page.
It's pretty funny that you just say that, because you know who I was just talking to? Literally just talking to? It's Josie.
Who's that?
Josie was on our show. Josie was on our shows forever. You don't remember Josie, Kim? The one from Canada?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
She's actually, right now is, what's the word?
Silent.
On gag order. She almost went to jail for talking on public media about her CPS case. So that's why she's not on the show.
You know, Canada is a very communistic country, so that doesn't surprise me.
Yep, they freaking gagged her because she talked about her case and she was open about that. It's crazy.
It's sick that they do these things and then they try to tell us not to talk about it. You know, who the hell is it hurting? Because it's not hurting our kids to talk about it. It's hurting their business, but it's not hurting our kids. Oh, we don't want you to talk about it because it's gonna give your kids a bad situation. They're gonna be bullied in school or something like that. These damn 3rd graders don't listen to our shows.
Right.
So how the hell are our kids gonna get bullied? The foster parents don't listen to our shows. The parents of the children that are in school with our kids, they don't listen to our shows because they have no reason to. So who the hell is it gonna get back to have our children bullied in school? They just don't want our kids. They don't want anybody knowing about this, because the more people that know about it, the more people are going to start standing up. They just don't want to be overthrown.
So I do got to throw this out there. This will make Darren chuckle. I did find this out today as well. So Darren, a couple of our viewers that have been watching the show and been making rude, obscene comments are some of the caseworkers that are involved in every single one of our cases.
Oh, really? That doesn't surprise me at all.
I found that out today with the discovery.
Oh, really? It says that they.
Well, I mean, that's not surprising.
Where the screenshot came from.
Well, welcome, caseworkers.
I mean, you know that bullies. The only way that a bully can make themselves look good, or the only way a narcissist can make themselves look good, is by putting everybody else down.
Yep.
They're just.
And guess what? All of you CPS workers are narcissists. Especially you parents that are CPS agents. You're a narcissist, because you know what? I'm sure back in the day, your parents used to beat your ass with a belt like they did the ours. You stepped out of line, you got a belt across your ass.
Yep.
Or you pissed off grandma and you got a high heel hit throwing at you.
Oh boy, you didn't piss off grandma. You didn't spoke ill about your grandparents at all.
No, you did not disrespect your grandparents. Me, I took care of my grandmom. I went to the store for her. I even brought her back her things.
My granddaddy had a piece of leather about 10 inches long on that he hung up on the wall. He called it Mr. Make Behave.
Welcome, Jason Cat. Well, welcome in, Jason Cat.
trying to find this file.
But yeah, you wouldn't believe the stuff that they did to us as children. We spent many hours outside, many, and we didn't have to fear getting in trouble because the cops were barely ever around back then.
Yeah.
They maybe circle around the block once just to make sure all the kids were okay, and that's it. We didn't have the oppression.
That's a good question, Jonathan.
What is the opposite of a narcissist? Well, there's two different things.
Good question.
There's the narcissist. There's the empath. And then there's another one that goes with it. I can't remember the other one, but for me, I did the test. They do have a test that you can take for narcissistic and empathic. I took it online. It's about 5 to 10 minute test. You have to answer a lot of different questions and be honest, great honest.
Echoist. It's an echoist. Is the other one.
Yeah. And it tells you exactly what you are. Me, I came out to be 98% empath.
It's a Sigma Christian.
Is that like a test you can find online, or is that something that a psychologist has to give you?
No, that you could do it right online.
You need to post the link to it. Let everybody else take it.
Let me.
All right. So this here is the. So this is from the Child Protective Investigations from the Government Oversight Committee. This is the 2022 version, so it's a little dinged up here. Check this out. Neglect. Caregiver not meeting the basic needs and has refused assistance. Not protecting a child from physical, emotional, or sexual harm by others. Truancy of children ages 7 through grade 6. Caregiver absence or abandonment, or involving child in criminal activity that involves danger or serious injury. What child abuse and neglect is not. Some situations may indicate that a family or a child needs community services or support, but do not meet the definition of child abuse or neglect. Examples include living in poverty, including lack of food, clothing, or shelter that is not injurious to the child. Accidental injuries, even if at regular and reoccurring. Parental or prenatal substance use. Physical or mental impairment of the parent, including substance use, if it has little or no impact on the child. Isolated incidents of domestic violence when the child is not present. Physical discipline, like spanking, as long as it does not cause bodily injuries. That is what the State of Maine Oversight Committee says is not neglect. And I ask you this, how many people out there have lost their kids? Not only been approached by CPS, but lost their children due to one of these things that they have said and deemed is not neglect.
Well, see, here's the conflict with that, though, because almost every state has a provision in their laws that if a complaint is made, it is required to be investigated. So they go and they look to find out if the complaint is credible, but they don't pay any attention to what credibility actually is.
That is the only requirement that the OCFS has, or DHHS has, legally, that they have to do, or that they're obligated to do, is just respond to that call. That's the only thing. They don't have to do a
right, but we are not but we're not obligated. We are not part of their company. We're not part of their business.
Right.
So we don't have to allow them to investigate. They are required to come knock on our door or make a phone call to us. But we are not required to answer that call, to open the door, to respond to any of their questions. We can tell them to go fuck off. And that's what needs to be done. Parents have got to start having a backbone and stop letting CPS and the cops scare the hell out of them into complying with shit that they don't have to comply with.
Yep. I keep saying I want to put together a biker group like the the abuse, the ones that do the bikers for abused children that go
BACA,
around.
bikers.
Yeah.
Yep,
I
bikers
wanna
against
get
child
something
abuse. Yep.
Yeah, I want to get something like that together. So when CPS comes to take your kids or to show up at your house, that this crew of bikers and lawyers and police officers show up at the house to say, hell no, you're not doing this. Is this legal? Is this right? And they'll block the CPS agents from coming to the parents. I've been trying to get the hold
Well,
of do
BACA
something
will
like
do
that
that.
for years.
BACA will
maybe it's
do
time
that.
I
If
get
you
a
can
hold of
get
them.
involved with BACA, they will do that. I've actually had I have a group in Alabama that's a chapter of BACA, and we've had them do that with a couple of those cases. They actually will stand there and stand up and defend the parents.
Here you go. There's the link.
So I mean, I think you just need to, since BACA is pretty much, it might be a cool thing just to get with them, your local organization, and see if they can add that on as a service that they have with that particular chapter.
Yep. Putting it down in the book. This book just keeps getting bigger and bigger. It doesn't seem like my check marks are making enough progress to the pages.
Right?
Of course. Well, it doesn't help since Carrie's been gone. Carrie used to do so much for us, man. And, everybody, let's just take a second and, give a prayer to Carrie's family and let's think about Carrie, just like for a quick moment of silence here for her family and her, especially her son, without her, and hopefully they're all doing all right. But let's do a little moment of silence for them. All right. That's for them. That's for Carrie. Hope she's watching over us. I'm sure she is. She's probably watching the hell out of us, yelling and throwing stuff. I can only imagine.
Happy New Year, Lady P.
Against child abuse. Okay. So we will get a hold of the bikers against child abuse.
So guys, the narcissist test I just posted in here, check it out. Try it out. See what you come out as. You don't have to tell us. You don't have to share if you don't want to. But I think it's always good to have some kind of insight into what kind of personality you have.
Yeah, I agree with that. And the only way to change something that you don't like about yourself is to know the hell is to know what the hell am I calling?
Hey, are you getting pulled over?
Yeah. No, me. Hold on. I drive Lyft, right? I keep party lights in the back. I kind of look like the cash cab in here. I've got a tablet in the back that actually does games and such, where people can win money and whatever. Everybody calls me the cash cab around here.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because I'm the only person.
Awesome.
It does. I'm the only person in the area that has this tablet, and I'm the only person in the area that does the lights. I do. I'll bring out candy for Halloween, and I have my passengers will have me my birthday. I ended up spending half of my time going into my passengers' houses to take a shot. More time than I did driving. I love it. I love it. It's so fun. It is absolutely so fun. But I'm in a college town, and the school here actually has a social work program, and a lot of the kids that I drive are part of the social work program. So I'm able to talk to them when they're not in school about what CPX actually is, so that they know not to go try to get involved with that. And I've had a couple of kids that have told me that because of the conversations they've had with me, that they have changed their minds. The reason that they got into social work was to work for CPS to help save kids, and they've told me that they decided that they're not going to do that anymore because of the conversations we've had.
Damn. Happy New Year.
Sam, I've been trying to get a hold of you, Sam. To no avail.
Happy New Year, Sam.
Reach out, Sam.
So I just want to say to Lady P, if you go back and you watch the show from the beginning after we end, you'll get that information of what transpired on the phone calls today. We didn't have court at 8 until the 2nd. All I can say is they don't want me to show up due to the elements that are going on. And I'm making more headway now on the flip side and on both sides. And they're seeing that, and they're seeing the things that I'm calling them out on. And a file happened to disappear. So yeah, there's a lot of hiding of information and evidence.
They're pulling shenanigans on Vinny. So, all right. Well, let's see here. Does anybody else have anything that they want to bring up here for the New Year's before we kick this show out? I mean, might as well. I know everybody's all doing their own things tonight, so let's not keep everybody for ridiculously long. I don't mind if we want to put this a little bit early tonight, so everybody can get to their having fun with their friends. Be safe and everything, everybody, for sure. But does anybody?
Yeah, definitely. If you're gonna be drinking, please do not drive. Find a Lyft, find a sober ride somehow. Just please do not get out there. We do not need y'all, going out there and giving CPS something else to try to use against you. And, you getting a DUI is going to be a big one that they will use against you.
Oh, for
sure.
Yeah, we definitely don't need that. I mean, I understand. I get that a lot of us are, this is a really fucked up time for us that, it's difficult because we don't have our kids and we're trying to, navigate the holidays and we want to get out there and just drink and drown our sorrows. But just make sure that when you try to do that, you've got somebody that's responsible enough to take you home, because the cop doesn't need to be the one doing it.
Thank God I can honestly admit I have been sober for 7 years.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Vinny.
That's the last time I ever touched an alcoholic beverage.
What was the last thing you drank?
Twisted tea.
Twisted tea. Good for you, Vinny. That's really
Pounded
good stuff.
A whole 24-ounce can to my face.
Whew.
Wow.
And obviously something took place after that wasn't good. So, but good for you, Vinny, for doing that. That's good stuff. It's a hard thing to do, man. People getting sober and everything, it's really hard. So congratulations to you for that.
I mean, it's even harder when these people sit there and they frown upon you on having your medical card or whatever. Okay. Well, let me put it to you this way. I know without a shadow of doubt in my mind that if I wanted to, I could stop smoking this, because I went almost 6 months without it. And, I'm not afraid to admit that I smoke. You know why? Because I feel more myself than most people think I do. I'm what they call a functioning stoner.
And he's a functioning stoner.
Well, I mean,
and don't forget, guys.
I had a friend of mine that used to take Loratab, and that was what helped her with her ADD and being able to function. Honestly, she could not get through the day, not because she was addicted, but because of all the physical issues and psychological issues that she had going on. She could not be productive during her day unless she had a Loratab. But as soon as she took one, it was like she was Speedy Gonzalez. But she was one of the best mothers I have ever met. You would never know that she had taken a single thing. So, I mean, it is possible.
And it's definitely possible, because you know what? I had a 5-bedroom house that I tried to keep clean all the time. Then I had a 3-bedroom house where you could literally eat off my floor. That's how clean it was.
Wow. Crazy. All right, guys. Well, I want
Well,
to play this. I'm going to play one of my favorite videos here in a second here to end our show. But you know what? If you guys are having any sort of issues whatsoever and you need some help, look out for anybody here. Call someone on the show. Call some of your friends. Call whoever you need to call. Don't let yourself become a statistic to your kids that they're coming back looking for you, because they will come back looking for you. And don't be gone because you couldn't take it, guys. Please, use 988. Use whatever. Call Kim. Call whoever you got to call. But don't become a statistic. Don't do that. Kim's best friend just had to be in that situation himself, and it sucks. It really does suck. But we gotta stay strong for our kids, and I feel for the daughters of Kim's family of friend. That's just awful. And those 5 beautiful little girls because of what CPS did. But let's please be strong, guys, because maybe a phone call could have just been a difference. So try that out. Please don't make any sort of rash decisions or anything like that if those thoughts are coming to your mind.
we're here. We're here. Message us, call us. Whatever you have to do. Somebody's going to be awake 24/7. I know that Darren is one that likes to be up till butt crack 30. I'm usually up by butt crack 30. So somebody is up 24 hours. Somebody will be able to respond to you and let you talk to them. Just please, don't do that, because your kids one day are going to want to know what happened to you. They're going to want to hear your side of the story. And if you're in your grave, who's going to tell them? I can tell them what I've read. I can tell them what you've told me, but it doesn't mean anywhere near as much as it does hearing it coming from your mouth. And they deserve to know. They deserve to know. They're the ones being abused. They're the ones that are, they're the ones that are getting the shit into the stick on this. They deserve to have their parents be there when they're old enough to come to them and say, Mom, Dad, what happened? Why did this happen?
Yep.
Why did they take us?
That's it. Benny, are you good?
Yeah. I just had I just wanted to ask one quick question of Kim. Kim, what did you think of that Under Color of Law I sent you?
Oh, the cease and desist?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what happened with that was the cease and desist that I had the parents send. I told her to fill it out. I gave her explicit details on how to do it, and she filled it out with the worker's name only. So the call that she got today wasn't from the worker, it was from the supervisor. So the worker is heeding the cease and desist, but since she forgot to include in there the worker and CPS, other CPS employees, they're able to get around that. So I told her to go ahead, and we're going to go ahead and send out another one that includes the worker, the supervisor, the county, and the state CPS employees. And I told her that once they get that, if they contact her again, we'll go ahead and get a federal filing set up for her.
That's an interesting fact that you said that, because now I'm going to have to do the same thing. But that's okay.
Well, I know that it's worked. I know that it's worked. One of the biggest cases was my friend that just killed himself last year. When his wife died 3 years before him, that's when CPS first came after him, and the cease and desist worked on his case for 3 years. It wasn't until his aunt and uncle actually became involved with CPS and conned him and into bringing the children to North Carolina, that CPS was able to get around the cease and desist and go after him again. But it works. It's been very successful in quite a few cases. If CPS If CPS doesn't get your kids or doesn't put you on a safety plan, if it's the first contact they make with you, a proper cease and desist can make them leave you the hell alone.
All right, so last words, guys. Go ahead. Tim,
Actually,
last words.
Florida is one of the best states, believe it or not. Florida is one of the best states when it comes to CPS. Florida and Texas are the two states that, if we look statistically across the board, those are the two states that are the best for parents.
All right, last words, Tim.
Just like I said, we're here, guys. Don't do something that your kids are gonna wish you didn't do later on. If you do decide to get out tonight and drink your sorrows away, then you know what? Just make sure that you've got a safe ride home, or you're at home doing it. Make sure you're in a situation that you're not going to have the cops called on you, or you're going to have cops involved, because that will be 100% used against you. Herbert,
Herbert, where the hell you been?
Hey, good. I was busy doing things. I just want to add that this is our let me think of the word I could use. This is our happy night.
Yes.
We're all over the place. We got traps. We got all kinds of traps sitting there waiting to pick up people who are drinking. We can't wait to stop people.
yes, he's right, y'all. I drive Lyft. I was sitting there waiting for a passenger to get in my car outside of a bar about an hour ago, and while I'm sitting there, this car drives past me, and not 2 seconds later, a local police officer flies past me, going right past them. They did not at all look like they had been drinking. They were not swerving. They were doing nothing at all that warranted this cop to pull them over. But within 2 or 3 seconds after they passed me, this cop comes flying by with his lights on.
Yes, yeah, you got it, girl. This is a night when most police officers in all the different states get overtime.
Yeah.
We get overtime on Christmas, on New Year's Eve, overtime. We're called in because we set traps up all over town, no matter what state is in. So we can stop people because we know they're drinking. We know they're drinking. You come around that bend? No, I'm not drinking. I'm good. But the thing is, I just want to tell you that this is the night you really got to be careful. Any other night, you can get away with it. This night, New Year's Eve night, this is a happy night for cops. Because they get, number one, they get overtime. That's number one. Number two, they're going to do all kinds of arrests. Number three, they're going to set up traps everywhere. Number four, look out for people who are warning you. There are people that make money off of warning you that there's a trap up ahead.
Yep.
There's little kids out there. They actually got little signs saying trap up ahead, radar up ahead. They do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's not just what happened on that TV show. That's not just the little clip that ran around on TikTok. That actually legitly happens.
You don't want to drink? You can drink.
My dear, listen, let me say something to her. I've been doing this for 30 years. 30 years.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
And I got called in. I did not want to go in. I tried not to go in for overtime on New Year's Eve. I was called in to work overtime on New Year's Eve to do sobriety tests.
That's getting bonus money, Herbert. That's getting bonus money.
Big time.
Yep.
There you have it.
Big time.
Is that going to be your last words for this New Year's for CPS? What's your last words about CPS?
Last words is I'm retired, so I don't make the money. If I wasn't retired, I'd be out there now arresting all kinds of people driving while drinking. But I don't do that no more.
All right, Herbert. Well, Herbert, we'll see you.
I'm trying to give you guys a heads up. No, get a designated driver. You can be drunk as a skunk on the back seat, but as long as the driver's not drunk, you're good.
And if
I can't arrest the driver.
And if you
I mean,
decide,
I can't arrest the passenger.
if you decide to go and buy a couple of bottles of liquor and bring them home so you can celebrate tonight, put them in the trunk. Put them in the trunk. Because
No, you can leave them in the seat. No, you're good. You're good. As long as the bottles are secure.
Yeah.
No. It's if they're not open. If they're not open, Herbert can't touch you if the bottles are not open.
Technically, but you know that a lot of those officers will pretend it was open anyway.
That's damn right.
No, they can't pretend. They can't pretend. Unless you got some really evil officers that open the bottle for you.
Well, I mean, you know,
But
the
if your
devil,
bottle's closed,
hell is empty. The devil is here. So, yeah.
no, unless you got a cop that's really after you, he'll open the bottle and say, "Oh yeah, it was open." Then that's really an evil officer.
Yeah.
But if you're just carrying stuff home, it's not open. They're not gonna do that. They're not gonna do that. But if the shit is open because you want to take a little tip, oh boy, they got you now.
All right, Benny, last words, buddy.
My last words are going to be right along the lines of everyone else. Stay safe out there tonight, guys. Know what you're doing. CPS is still watching you no matter what you do. So do the right thing. Stay home. Don't get too drunk or sloshed where they try to call you in the morning and you get some kind of call and they think that you're drunk. You don't need that problem on your head either. Just remember, over the next couple days, we got a lot going on. So we'll be sharing a lot of new information. I'm working on a bunch of things. I have court on the 2nd for the CPS case. So I'm still debating on that one, whether I'm going, whether I'm not. We'll see how that plays out because I'm working on some other things at the moment. So keep up fighting, guys, because we're at that tipping point now. Now we're finding tons of things on them.
Darren, if you don't mind me saying my last little thing, if you see Herbert show up at your door and he doesn't have a warrant, don't let him in. If CPS shows up to your door and they don't have a court order or warrant, do not let them in. You're not going to get arrested by Herbert because Herbert doesn't have a warrant. Herbert cannot come into your home.
All right. Vinny, you good?
Absolutely.
Yep. All right, everybody.
Now I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna run my mouth. I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna try to convince. Don't let me in your house.
As nice as he may seem, he's pretending that he's not a dick.
No, I'm straight up. I'm straight up. I'm Darren can tell you, I'm straight up. I'll tell you right now.
Johnny Walker straight up. All right, guys, listen, I'm just going to leave it with this. I want to thank everybody for making this a great year.
Who's Johnny Walker? I don't even drink.
Well, you should, Herbert. I want to thank everybody.
Maybe I should, but I don't. I have apple cider I'm drinking tonight.
There you go. Well, he's got some sort of sugar something going on. Anyway, everybody, thank you very much for making this a successful season for us. Gone out with a bang. We look forward to a better year for everybody this year. And that's it. This will be the last time on the CPS Punisher. We're out of here.
Happy New Year.
Bye, everyone.
Later on.
Bye-bye.
Getting crazy, baby, chill. Don't medicate, just meditate. You waking up now, well, baby, you hella late. Educate, look at what's going on, let it resonate, accelerate. Find your inner hunger like you never ate. Agenda is to push the hate. Separate and segregate, don't celebrate quite yet. The storm is coming, Q, for heaven's sake. Violence that they demonstrate, instigate and penetrate the values of our country and our God is what they desecrate. My fighters ain't no featherweight, pulling out the seams of the fabric that they fabricate. They feed us lies, manipulate, intimidate through fear and force, forcing us to sit and wait till we come together, congregate, and then we liberate. Praying that you give me strength to find some love amongst the hate. Marching on these streets of blood till I see the golden gates. Troubadour and troubled souls, one of God's servants. Blades out, cut the grass till we see the serpents.
One day I hope you see the truth. This puppet show stays on because of you fools. We've been dancing with the devil way too long. I know it's fun, but get ready to pay your dues. Oh God, come back home. This crazy world is filled with liars and abusers. We need you now before we're too far gone. I hope one day they finally see the truth. God, we need you now.
I know the truth is hard to swallow, just digest it. Suspected something's going on, but chose to just neglect it. Deflected by some breaking news, oh, we just accept it. Expected just to fall in line and follow their perspective. Don't question their objective, but I got a lot of questions. How these kids molested, but nobody's been arrested. Read it in the testament, these children are protected. So I'm fighting all these terrorists, both foreign and domestic. Refuse to be directed, blind, not a sheep. Only kneel to my God, so I'm dying on my feet. Silence when we speak, but there's violence in the street. I've been rolling with the punches, I can't take it on the cheap. Drink from a glass half full, I'm optimistic. People are sadistic, so vicious and malicious. Praying for assistance to overcome opposition, or I'm gonna start resisting and then I'll pray for forgiveness.
One day I hope you see the truth. This puppet show stays on because of you fools. We've been dancing with the devil way too long. I know it's fun, but get ready to pay your dues. Oh God, come back home. This crazy world is filled with liars and abusers. We need you now before we're too far gone. I hope one day they finally see the truth. God, we need you now. We need you now. We need you now. One day, one day, one day I hope you see the truth. This puppet show stays on because of you fools. We've been dancing with the devil way too long. I know it's fun, but get ready to pay your dues. Oh God, come back home. This crazy world is filled with liars and abusers. We need you now before we're too far gone. I hope one day they finally see the truth. God, we need you now.
Imagine being a child who has been torn away from their security blanket, their parents, the ones who stop the boogeyman from terrorizing the nights and curing their boo-boos when they scrape their knees. Now just imagine how they must feel when the CPS meant to protect them tears them away from their supposed abusers and places them with strangers who have zero comforting skills. They need to be calm. They are confused, lost, panicked, and needing their parents, but CPS took them away for the purpose of saving them. The kids don't even know why, and they are told that the parents they attach to no longer want them. What do you think that does? Do you think that this is how protecting children is supposed to look? Abolish CPS.